All right.
Yep. Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7:02 p.m. And I will see Goodrich as a full member. Todd, would you read the call?
Town of Groton, notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, April 16, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. ACC 24-0021, 148 High Street, Anna Troiano, applicant owner, fence installation, PIN number 2619183138181. ACC 24-0022, 133 River Road, Christian McGugan, applicant, Searle Field owner, underground electrical, PIN number 2619143398899. ACC 24-0023, 275 Noank Road, Brett Halen, applicant, Paul Bede, owner, mini split installation, PIN number 2618052844475. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website and meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 9th day of April, 2024 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. I will waive a reading of the hearing procedures if anyone wants to read a copy. They're over there in the yellow sheet. And we will jump right in and call HTC 24-0021 148 High Street. Hi.
Give that a second. I think I just turned it on. There you go. So we're sharing a screen with John tonight, so it's might be a little
It's fine.
difficult to 100% see, but I'll zoom in the best I can.
Yeah, that's good. John, can you see it?
You're muted. You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it fine.
Okay, cool. All right, just walk us through like you've never been here.
Adding a fence.
Name and
to,
address.
One for Anna Troiano, 148 High Street, Mystic, Connecticut. Adding a fence in front of my new cottage. Right in the front. And that's where it will end, at those endpoints. It's a cedar fence. And here's a picture of the property. High Street is down here. This is the cottage. That's my house. There's the fence.
So the fence runs from those two blue marks.
Yes. I showed you before. This is a picture of the cottage.
And a quick question: in the first drawing, you showed us like the fence goes the full length across the front of the cottage. Is that the case, or is it kind of split with a opening in the middle?
No, it goes full length, from the end of my property to the right, where I already have an existing wire fence that borders my neighbor to the right, all the way to the end of the corner of my house.
And if I'm not mistaken, the driveway or the crushed stone you see there, John, is being removed.
That's just a construction driveway.
Yeah.
It's not an actual driveway. It'll go back to grass.
Okay, thank you.
Here's an example of the fence.
You're gonna straighten those little photographs out there, Anna? You're in a permanent tilt position there. Oh, that's better. Thank you.
There you go. It's called Chestnut Hill. I actually have this fence at an existing gate on the other side of the house, the same style. It's made of cedar. And then there'll be a gate to the right, the far right of my property that borders a neighbor. So I can exit.
Is that a representation of the gate right there?
It is, no arbor, but a curved down scalloped gate.
Great. Any comments?
And the height of the fence?
3 feet, and then, the gate's the same, but there's a scallop that goes lower. No further questions.
Good. John, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All set?
Thank you very much.
Can I, ask you a question?
Sure.
I want to redo my porch on my house. Because it's rotting. Do I need to ask permission if it's going to be exactly the same? I'm just replacing the floor, that's rotten,
Nope.
and
Like for like, you can,
like for like.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
that's it. Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Okay, HTC 24-0021 is closed. Thanks. Yep.
Yes, you can leave. No, you have to stay through the whole meeting.
HTC 24-0022, 133 River Road. What's that?
How you
Hi,
doing?
good.
How are you? Sitting in for Christian. Cause he's getting no award tonight, but we'll see him. There's 3 copies. It's get the
All right, you have to introduce yourself.
Pete Steinhardt. Yeah,
Stidehar,
Steinhardt, yeah.
you think maybe you should spell that? Someone's taking minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Stajdduhar.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is to install a meter socket for power to a dock. This is a bus.
upside down.
Yeah, everything's reversed.
So this is the meter socket. It's just laying on the ground. I'll give you dimensions of what it's gonna be. That's the front side. This is the back side. This is the location. This is the, this is River Road here. This is utility pole. It's gonna be set in between the utility pole and guide wire. Let's take them from a different, the other side. Sure. This is just another picture of the location, which would be right in here. Which is same as that one. Okay.
Was that, did you have an aerial view of that? Was that what I was looking at?
There's an arrow.
Yeah, it's kind of bad copy, but this is. So this is the residence. The dock's coming out of here. So that utility pole sits right here, so it's like right in this area here. So it's just a standalone meter socket. It's not, there's no wires, overhead wires going to it. It's all underground to this utility pole.
So it's feeding the dock.
Yeah, and then it gets.
Are you going to cross the road?
Yes. Yes, there's a road cut that's gonna happen. The conduit will come here, down the yard, across the road into the area where the dock is.
So there's no power on the dock now.
That's new.
So say it's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a dock? Is the dock just was built, right?
Yes, correct.
So
Let the dock get built.
we need,
Yeah,
we need.
approve a dock. Yeah,
I think we do need to approve a doc, don't we?
Yeah.
how the dock get built?
What's that?
How the dock get built?
I have no idea. That's a deep thing.
I think he's got the permit for deep in this. In the paperwork.
Yeah, but I still think we're supposed to approve the doc after Deep does, right? Or at some point.
This is the deep.
The heat limits there, and I don't know if it was an existing dock. I can't answer that. And that was upgraded or whatever, I don't know that. Says it.
So that's new.
May I see one of those packets, please? Eric?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Um. I unfortunately think he's gonna have to come back and get the dock approved before you can do the power. Which I don't anticipate to be a problem. He just needs to do it.
It's to file the dock itself.
Yeah.
And with photographs of the dock, you know. all that
Yeah.
stuff. Basically,
But-
what you just showed here,
Yeah, I think Doc will keep Nielsen on that. I think he's gonna submit that to.
DEP.
Yeah, he just,
He's got this aerial here. That's just the area of the project.
Yeah, the GIS is showing no existing dock there, so it's gotta be a new dock.
yeah,
There was something, because there's a bump out there, and there was something there, I don't know.
I don't think it's a big deal.
That's not really an issue for us.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah,
yeah,
It's just, we just have to see what the dock looks like.
Okay.
yeah.
So if you want to, when's the next meeting? Is it 2 weeks from now or
Right now, this-
Right.
we have
skip, we
we have
skip?
a skip week because of the number of Tuesdays in a month, so it's May 7th, so you have till a week from this coming Thursday to get your application in to be on the next agenda.
Thursday.
Is the 18th, so the 20, have it in by the 25th.
And you can do 'em both that meeting. Like you can do the dock and you can do the electrical at the same time,
Oh,
just instead of,
so bring this in, bring the back stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
But make sure you submit an application for the dock.
for the back. By the 25th.
With your exhibits. At the same time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, someone's gonna have to go in.
Yeah, tell them you didn't get out of it. You only got out of one, not two.
Thanks.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I will make a motion to continue HDC 24, sorry,
Second,
dash 0022. All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
A Goodrich eye.
Okay, that's continued. HDC 24 0023 275 Noank Road. Is that you? No. It says Jeff from Densmore, but he's not here. So
I have Brett Halen.
as the applicant,
No, Paul Beeds, app.
no, agent Jeff. That's Jeff that normally comes.
Oh,
I'm on the thing. But
oh, okay.
nevertheless, do you want to just continue it? If they come, we can just
Yeah.
uncontinue it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion to continue HTC 24 0023. Someone second.
Second.
Goodrich
Ferguson.
second.
All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich eye.
Okay, so that's continued. So I will close the public hearings. And we can move on to deliberation. So the only thing we have to deliberate on is HTC 24 0021. This is the fence at 148 High Street. Any comments, motions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Goodrich second.
I will just add in that I think it's nice and it goes with the existing fences, so I don't think there's any issues. But we should make your motion subject to
The
no
height.
higher than 4 feet. So that gives a foot.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the fence as presented as long as the height does not exceed 4 feet.
Goodrich second.
Okay, all in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich eye.
All right, HTC 24 0021 is approved. Moving on to pre-applications. Are you Dan? Oh, come on up. 2 West Mystic Avenue, and this is already on the agenda, so we don't need to do anything. How are you?
My name is David Huber.
It's not even on. I just realized. If you don't mind pressing the square. Yeah, yeah. Oh, pressing hold.
Yeah,
for
press
like-
and hold it for a second. There you go. Should be able to let it go. Give it a second. Turn green.
Yep.
Good.
Do it again. Okay. So we are the proud new owners of 2 West Mystic Avenue, effective April 30th. So I'd like to come in and have a pre-meeting to determine, we have 3 projects that we're looking at. 2 are related and 1 came up during the inspection that I wanted to get your opinion on as to whether or not they would have to have an application done. I'm sorry, I only brought 2 copies, but would you like to?
Well, you have some photographs and stuff in
I
there?
do.
So keep one with you.
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we'll
Great.
split it.
Nice.
Sorry, John.
The first one is just, I filled out the application because I wasn't sure, but
Oh,
That's a little bit.
the second page, and this is just for your information, the previous owner had given me this, I guess, prior a number of years ago. They had pulled a permit for a pool install in the same location that I would be interested in putting a pool in. So that's just the permit.
Okay.
The picture is the actual location where the pool would go. So it's an in-ground pool. And I guess the determining thing I need to talk to you guys about is whether you would consider this viewable to the public. The next couple pictures are from West Mystic Ave looking up at the house. And as you can see, the property is actually tier leveled into 2 sections. So the lower section is even with West Mystic, and then there's a wall that goes up and then over to the house. And that's the location where the pool is. So you can see where the, landscaping is obviously matured enough that it would, in my opinion, cover any visibility of the pool. But that's what I need you guys to help me with.
Unfortunately, we don't take into consideration landscaping because you could just go cut it down. So
Okay.
you would have to bring it. But the fact that it is heavily matured. I mean, we don't take it into consideration, but
Okay.
Here.
we do.
So that would have to be an application for the in-ground pool. Okay.
So can I ask, you're looking at putting the in-ground pool kind of on the upper tiered level facing West Mystic Avenue, is that correct?
Yes.
You're right.
All right, I'm gonna have a hard time seeing your pictures, that's why I'm asking, I apologize.
so,
So it's like to the right of the driveway.
where is it on
So
this map?
that is going, that's actually showing where we'd like to put a fence in
Oh, okay.
around the property.
But where's the pool, I guess?
The pool would be-
Okay.
It's right here, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Right, so John's gonna have to log back in, so we'll see. Hopefully they can find the meeting.
Group participants down there. See if he's on our attendees.
So there's only Susan. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
You gotta promote him. There you go.
I'm back.
All right. So,
So how do I get my
Gallery back.
start video? Hang on.
there
Here we go.
Okay.
I
So
think we're
could
good.
you
We're recording.
Can you show us where the pool's gonna go?
Roughly right where 9177 is.
John, you got that?
Yeah, I do, thank you.
What are you gonna do about fencing?
Because you have that fence around the pool. as
Yeah,
well
so the
as-
next, the actual, this picture, the yellow shows where I'd like to put a fence. 4 foot high,
But you need fence around the pool. And I know you're putting a fence around the yard, but you also need a fence around the pool. Just so.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a building code thing.
we learned all about this.
Yeah, we learned about
Yeah.
this last meeting.
Less,
Okay.
that's the only reason. So you're gonna have a double fence, basically.
Yeah.
One around the pool.
Correct me if I'm wrong, if you can enter the house, you can't enter the pool. Is that right? Basically,
If you can enter the house
you can't exit the house into the pool area without a fence.
without it being alarmed, correct?
Yeah,
If there's windows or doors that lead to the the enclosed pool area, they have to be alarmed. Directly into the pool area,
Or there has to be another fence.
or a fence between the house and the pool area.
Okay. Another option we're looking at is possibly, I know, I guess Connecticut just changed its law a couple of years ago with the permanent
cover.
top covers.
Yeah,
I know they're very expensive, but that might be an option too. We look at.
Can you have the top cover in place of a fence, Tim?
Yeah, there are some provisions, they have to be automatic, there
Yeah.
are certain things that they have to meet certain criteria to do it.
But regardless, we're
People use
looking
them
at
on hot
fencing
tubs and
the yard
smaller-
anyways, because we have a dog, so.
yeah. I think if you fence the yard and then you just add a secondary fence around the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
Both of those look.
Okay. So, I guess the same thing would apply for the fence, because I was looking at the next picture, if you don't know. Kind of shows you. So to the left-hand side, that's where the pool would be.
Yeah,
And my idea was to run the fence actually inside of all the existing landscaping.
Can you use your finger on the picture?
Yeah, so, we would run the fence down this side and then along this interior wall, and run it down and around. Again, I was under the assumption that the landscaping would apply, because these bushes are well over 4 feet tall now, so I thought it wouldn't be viewable to the public, but I understand where you guys are coming from with the landscaping, so.
Yeah. But like this fence, we approve it all the time.
Okay,
So-
so that's just a sample.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't even met a pool guy yet over there, so.
Yeah.
So would you guys recommend getting everything in place, getting, the pool choice, the picture of the pool, what it looks like,
Yeah.
and then coming back? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, we don't. I'm trying to gotta say this. I have no doubt that it's gonna be beautiful when you complete it. So that being said, we don't really have any issues with in-ground pools ever. So assuming it's done well and fits in.
Yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be any issue, and that goes with the fencing too.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to put up a 6-foot vinyl fence, you'd have a
Yeah, no,
problem.
I wanted to look.
Yeah.
yeah,
Period, correct.
chain link fence is not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
so. But we need all the materials, so
Got it.
So this fence would be around the pool? Or
That would
around
be
the
around
yard?
the whole property
Okay,
plus the
yep,
pool.
I just want to make sure. I was clear.
I guess my point in saying that is based upon our previous couple years of decisions. I don't think you taking the time to go get your stuff put together would be a waste of time.
Okay, all right, that's fair. This is just another view from West Mystic. So the final project, which came up during the inspection, is this here is a 2-car separate garage that we think was built, what we know was built around 2008, so it's not original to the house of 1835. But it has a wood shingled roof on it that at some point is going to need replacing. I'd like to do an asphalt shingled roof to match the house, which is what the house has. But I didn't know, again, if you would consider that visible from the street, because the pitch of the roof is actually north and south. And the visibility from the street is east to west, so you can't really see the roof from the street, but.
So yes, we would consider it. But also again, we've had people come and change out old cedar roofs for asphalt roofs.
Okay.
It'd be great if you put a cedar roof back on, if you're not going to.
I'm sorry,
It would be great if you put a cedar roof back on.
there would be no reason to have an application if it's like for like.
Yeah, true,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But if you wanted to change to asphalt, it's been done.
And we're not gonna.
And you just have to show us
Yeah.
the specs on the roof and the
Sure.
color.
That's all. So
Do you have any opinions on metal roofs?
we approve.
Like a standing seam?
Yep.
Yeah. I really like metal roofs.
I used to hate them, but now I like them.
So
And I used to hate them and now I tolerate them.
my challenge is if I,
Yeah, Ferguson, I remember that comment you made on the bank.
if I remove the wood shingle roof, I have to put obviously a layer of plywood down now. So if I put a standing seam roof, I wouldn't have to do that necessarily, I don't think. So
Plywood's gonna be a lot cheaper than the metal one.
I'm sure it is.
Um,
That's down the road, but I just wanted to get your feelings out.
Yeah, generally like anything that's visibly, if like the yard was completely empty is gonna have to be approved.
Yep.
You're better off getting it approved than not, but I think everything that you want to do would be within.
Okay.
You know, things we've approved.
And what would be if I came back, so the next one will be come back with an application with all the documents. For
Yep.
the type of pool and fence and everything. What's that, like a month turnaround? How does that work?
Oh, no, we voted on it that night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you normally have to get it in the Thursday. Two Thursdays, yeah, before the meeting.
okay,
And then it would get on 2 weeks later, and then we vote on it that night, unless you're missing something.
Yeah.
And just be overly detailed, yeah.
yep,
There is I don't know if you went to the desk here for the building department, but they do have a sheet that tells you what you have to attach to your application.
okay.
But I mean, this plus the specifics on the pool or the roof would be sufficient enough.
And would you suggest he do 3 different applicants or just one? That's, I think.
Well,
one-
depending on when you intend to go ahead and do it, if the roof is over 5 years out, then I
Yeah,
probably wouldn't put it in, but you could do them all together, I
Yeah,
think.
that's what
Yeah.
that's.
definitely the pool and fence will be
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
one's not gonna get done without the other.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Well,
clarify.
thank you very much.
Oh, wait, here's some more.
Beautiful house though.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah,
house.
we're just.
I looked at that.
Hey, Tim, you disabled my video somehow.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, when I try and turn off, it says host has to give me permission.
That's the start video.
Hey, you're back.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No,
You
I'm
feel
good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
And don't
you.
be
Thank
afraid to
you
ask
so much.
the office if something pops up in
Okay.
your head. They're very
Yeah.
good.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Are you here for pre-app?
I'm not, I'm more here as a observational student of information.
Sure. I'm here for pre-app, so I gotta recuse myself.
All right.
Do you want to take it over?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I have to make a motion to appoint myself chair, quasi chair of this part of the meeting, Bill Ferguson.
Should I second that?
Yeah.
motion?
All right.
Second the motion.
All right. Vote
Becca, I.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
So,
Now you have to make a motion to add this to the agenda.
so no, I know. Now I'd like to make a motion to add the young man, Eric Goodman, to the meeting discussion. What is the address on this?
9 Street.
For 9 Roland Street.
Goodrich, second.
Becca, I.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, the floor is yours, Mr. Goodman.
We're gonna call this agenda item number 4.2, 4.3,
Well, the one person didn't.
because there's one,
So
well, he submitted their stuff here for him. There's actually 2 that were on the agenda, but.
well, let's make it 4-3. or
4-3?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should go back to
That's,
Is that good for your purposes?
yeah, just so
Okay.
Sue
Yep,
kind
no,
of
I
has a
just-
thing to,
But, okay.
thank you.
Does that thing work?
What's that? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Zoom out. Okay, so as some of you may or may not know, my girlfriend decided that we should get a dog. So we have a dog. And therefore I need a fence. Because said dog and 13-year-old grumpy cat do not get along. So what I'd like to do though is I want to do the sections that you can see out of wood, which would be here, here, and here. There's an existing fence that runs from here to here. That's the neighbor's. And I want to do the rest out of a black aluminum, so it blends into the neighboring shrubbery and such. The only areas that you can see from the street is this area here and this area here. So what I wanted to do also was add a cedar pergola over this area on the side of the garage, because I use it for like landscaping storage. So I want to kind of hide what's there and clean it up. So this is from the street. So this is the area on the side. So the pergola would be 8 feet in the air and come across somewhere about right here. That wood fence that I'll show you in a minute would run across, and there would be a 4-foot gate in the middle. That's my neighbor's fence that you can kind of barely see. So the wood would run across to the neighbors. There would then be another 4-foot fence at the back, but I don't think you'd see it because it'd be covered by the fence in the front. But I figured I'd just tell you. But yeah, that's just another view from the front. And then this is the view for the other side. So it's this little area here that you can barely see. So the fence would come off the house about 3 feet and then shoot back right about here. And then it would transition to black aluminum in these arborvitaes, and those arborvitaes run all the way down. So you would never see that piece of it. And that's the only stuff that's visible from the street. This was what the pergola is going to look like. This is the cedar fence. All right, John, slow me down if I'm going too fast. And then this is
No, you're fine.
black aluminum fence. And they would all be 4 feet tall. That's just the details.
Is the pergola that big?
Well, this is not my pergola,
Okay,
but it would be the width or the depth of the garage. And it would come off. There's a. It's tough to see, but there's a little stone retaining wall.
yeah, that's what I was wondering about the
Right
fence.
there.
Is the fence gonna hop up?
It's gonna stay the same height, but it's gonna come across.
Okay,
But the pergola would stop at the retaining wall, which is about 8 feet off the house. And then the fence would just continue across. But I just want the pergola just to cover that little area of gravel. I don't know, you both have been there. Right? So
How close to the property line will that end up being?
the pergola,
Yeah,
8 feet.
okay.
It's about. I think it's about 20 feet off the property line, the house.
The house is.
Yeah,
Just making sure you weren't running. I was looking at the plan that you had come across quick. It looked like it was close to the property line. Just was trying to make sure you weren't gonna run into a setback problem.
no, that's like I said, that's about 20 feet.
Okay.
That little area there. So that's it. So yeah, this wood would just run here to that tree. 8-foot gate, 4-foot gate, 4-foot gate, and then the rest of this, I don't think you can see anyways. Questions, comments?
pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward.
Hopefully.
I think it looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll tire out the dog if nothing else, that expanse in the back.
Well, Mike's got the dog next door too. And the lady in the back has a dog.
Oh.
So
They could all, right.
dog friends. Okay.
Okay, so in order to get this applicant.
Yeah. It's been submitted. But I will be back in 3 weeks. Thank you.
I make a motion to unchair myself as the.
Seconded, Brady.
I didn't even get to finish.
Brady, I.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Sorry, let me just get back to the.
So there were two no-shows.
So there is a submittal package for Dave Reagan. Item 4.2. I wanted to know, or Sue wanted to know if you could look at it. It's pictures, there's a material list. He's on the agenda for the 7th. And just wanted to know if there was any additional items that you guys want added to the packet. That's something you would look at?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
Okay.
can look at it even though he's not here. We've done that.
Yeah.
We just
I
have
don't
one
see
of
why
us
not.
present it kind of thing.
Well, it's not an application.
Oh, it's a pre-app. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pre-app, it's a
Okay.
new house. He's got a bunch of pictures of, I believe it's an existing house that he has done. That is going to be the same house that's going on that lot. He provided a materials list, siding, corner boards, etc.
Is this the one he came with his son?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't see it in the agenda. Where is it, Tim?
No, it's on there.
It's item
Four.
number 4-2.
IV-.3. Go to the town website.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, it's on there, John.
Yeah, I don't see it in the one I'm pulling up. Is it pre-app? 8 Ice House Lane. I see it on the agenda. I don't see the pictures.
No, they're
Oh, no,
all
no,
here.
It's a
no,
pre-app.
no,
Oh, got it. Okay.
Pre-app.
Yeah, that's why I said, I didn't know if you wanted me to present it. So that's.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind looking at it.
Well, I don't, there's nothing really to look at. It's more of just, did he include the material list and the pictures? You know, so do you want to look at it to,
I mean, what are we doing? We're just kind of making sure it's good for a pre-app to take it to a regular app.
yeah,
Then I guess I don't need to look at it. If it's all there, it's all there, right?
yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. I
All
mean,
right.
the only thing he's gonna,
Film this picture.
I guess the only thing he's just gonna need is window sizes.
This
Okay.
is what the house is gonna look like. This, everything else is relevant. But
Is that going in where the other house wasn't completed?
Yeah.
Or he needs elevations. With heights. But
That's
that's,
up to you guys.
no, I'm saying he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he's got this, he's gonna have the elevations
Yeah, you should have the actual,
and just the
Okay.
window schedule.
okay.
The rest of it, I
So he
think.
needs, let's see, he's gonna need elevation.
I don't think there's any point looking through it. Since
no,
what are we gonna do with it?
Right,
I
you
think
see
that's-
what's missing.
good enough on that one?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, and then there's another one, similar in scope. This one is same thing. There's an application in for 54 West Main Street for the fence that everybody's been waiting for.
Is that the one that we've asked him to look at
Yep,
as an enforcement?
yep,
Okay.
yep. So there's an application in to actually put the 3-foot fence in. He has submitted some locations, some pictures. And description of what the fence is, so,
I'm just so John can see.
yeah, you might want to add that to your agenda or do a
Make a
motion to add it.
I'd like to make a motion.
I don't, are we really at it? Like, are we doing, what are we doing? We're not really doing anything. You want to just add it to add it?
You just want to look at it and see if there's anything additional that you want him to bring for his application, like any
Okay.
other typical
Yeah.
pre-app, I guess.
Like to make a
I
motion.
don't have to look at that. If the guys say it's all there, it needs to be there. I mean,
Uh.
I trust them.
All right, thank you, John.
Bill wants to make this presentation. John.
Yeah.
I just, because you're not here, I just want to make sure you.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have it on,
Just make a,
Well,
on the
for the-
recording as well.
just make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to add 54 West Main Street to look at the materials and presentation.
I'll second. All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye. So he put this fence back in this weekend, didn't he? The one in the
Yes,
picture
it's
here?
my understanding it's already installed.
Yeah, all right. I think it was Sunday it went back in.
Is it the same fence though? I see that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave
Yeah.
this here, please.
I mean, is that the old fence we didn't approve the first time, or is this
So
an updated fence?
there are, I think there is a picture of the old fence there, and I think there's some pictures of the new fence as well,
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
No, but. No, but I mean, it's there.
It's all there?
Yeah, it's all.
Good presentation.
Well done.
So you don't need any additional items for the actual presentation?
No,
Okay.
but I don't in the future want to get in the habit of like doing this either.
I understand that. I get it. I understand that. I didn't know.
Because the whole point is the discussion of.
I agree. I agree. And it was my understanding that that Reagan was gonna be here. I thought he was gonna be here.
Yeah,
And this was kind of a last minute thing. The application just came in for the other one for West Main. So in the future, we'll put them, if we have ones that are on the agenda, and then
I mean,
if you guys don't want to put them on, make a motion and say, nope, I want this, I want to see this pre-app in person, and that'll be that.
yeah.
All right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, part of me says with Bank and Bridge, we should do it by the book, just get everything that's been going on, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, but no one has to come for a pre-app. So
Okay.
that's my only thought is like, but I just don't. If they're gonna come for a pre-app, they should come for the pre-app. They shouldn't.
I think if they're on the agenda, they should certainly come for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, and I mean, this is just my opinion, you know, we gave Bank and Bridge. We stepped outside of procedure so he could open up early, and then we've been fighting with it ever since, so I'm very unwilling to do anything outside of the ordinary for
Well,
this application.
he currently has an application submitted, so I'd be very
Okay.
careful what you
Yeah.
say.
See, that's where I'm at. I'm at that.
100%.
Application that he's taken a step forward to meet us, and he wants it to do it right. He made us check or asked us to check that he's doing it right. We accepted the fact that he is doing it right. So now he has to come in. I mean,
Correct.
It's not like he can.
That's.
I mean,
we're on
you
the same
guys have
page.
adamantly requested that he come before this board.
Right.
And our office has managed to make that happen,
Correct. No,
Yep,
that's-
okay,
all right? To issue an opinion at this point, I think is out of order. And the fact that you already did may be problematic. So I just leave it at that.
okay, well. Duly noted.
All right,
He didn't issue an opinion.
what's that?
He didn't issue an.
Well.
Public communication.
There are no public communications that I have to offer.
Approval of the minutes?
Did we see them? Were they sent to us?
No, they're online.
Technically, the special meeting minutes should be approved at your next special meeting. They shouldn't be done on a regular meeting. So, but that's up to you guys. You want this addressed, I don't know.
We gotta wait for Ted to get
Yeah, well.
We're lost
table.
without Ted. Special meeting minutes. He's our beacon.
Okay, old business, I'm gonna jump on this handbook review.
So, at the last meeting, we were looking at the red line edition of it, and you guys had some discussion about that. And you asked, I believe it was Ted asked Susan about some things like the maps and some drawings and some pictures that were included in a book that he had, but didn't appear included in the draft document that was provided to you guys. Sue did some research on it. She found that the online version of the let me get out of this, hold on. The online version of the handbook was actually different than the handbook that was printed copy that was being distributed out of the main office. So she went through both of them. Did a like for like or like a side by side comparison, anything that was not in what would be, I guess, considered the more comprehensive edition that had all the pictures was added, the maps and everything. So what she ended up doing was taking the original red line version that you guys had. And then she compiled a complete version with all the drawings, all the pictures, all the maps, and she tried to get them inserted as close as she could in the page where they were in the original document. So there's one version of that. She didn't want to make a whole bunch of them until maybe you guys looked at it, or I don't know if there was really a need to make
I
it.
don't think there were any issues with the graphics, but I think, can she just PDF it over that email? Just to let her
I'll
know.
see if she has a PDF
Or
of the
Word,
whole
whatever.
thing. What's that?
She's gotta have something, so a Word document or PDF.
Yeah, I'll see what she has, and
Cause I saw the version with the photos and their photos, they're great.
yeah,
So,
yeah, they really, and between that and the map, it's a good addition to the handbook. I think it should be in there as well.
I think it's in there. I just think.
Some are, but it's different. The version that is online is different than the actual printed version that was distributed from the office.
Oh.
So
And
she
this
compiled
document
it.
References maps.
Right, but
Yeah.
there's a version of this online too that has no photos, period.
Right.
So.
Right, and the one that was being distributed, like Ted was talking about, has the photos. So in an effort to be consistent and create one document, she compiled all of the drafts, all the pictures, and created what would be considered a comprehensive draft document.
Okay,
That's great.
does,
Thank
yeah. Does anyone have any comments relating to the text? Like that,
I do.
sure.
So I went through this, I said to Eric before the meeting, like, I went through this page by page by page very carefully. And there were very little errors, which I think is a credit to the group for us combing through it page by page by page earlier in the process. There were a couple questions I had that I think are easily, if I ask them now, people on this board can quickly answer them. So if you have the document in front of you, on page 2-2, which is Roman numeral 2, and then small i's, it looks like this.
Yep.
I'm just wondering what's going on here.
Yeah.
It was just like, I wasn't sure. I mean, anything in red was generally edited. And then this one, if you turn the page one more. Eric, let's go one more page.
Oh, there was the dots are doubled up. That's.
Okay, it was that page right here.
So
This
you're
was just-
on Roman numeral 2-2.
Or, yeah,
Yeah,
2-.
this was just deleted.
So,
Okay, that was my question. Was this deleted?
so yeah, it looks like
Okay.
all of that has been cleaned up in her document. There's
Okay.
bullets in here, there's.
Okay, and like I said, a lot of these questions
Yeah.
are. this
She
was
did
the-
say that in looking through it, she found that there were a couple of typos, a couple of spelling errors. Some of them were existing, some of them were in the new text, and she tried to catch them and clean them up as best she could.
Yeah, that's great.
And then if we go to 2-16 or II-16, which right above skylights. Talks about shed dormers. If shed dormers are used, they should, does everyone see that second
Yep.
Yeah.
paragraph? If shed dormers are used, they should be clearly subordinate to the primary roof form and are best used on broad, low hung roofs. That sentence fine. The roof pitch of any shed dormer should not be less than 4-inch vertical dimension in 12-inch horizontal is discouraged. That's something's wrong with that last sentence. And
I think what I did was it should have said the roof pitch of any shed dormer less than 4 inches vertical dimension and 12 inches horizontal is
take-
discouraged.
so we
Yeah.
take out should not be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to just,
Nope, no, that's better wording than, and I just had I guess, now we go to 2-18, 2 pages ahead. It's exposed chimneys surfaces, which is the 4th paragraph down. Does everyone see that?
Yep.
The second sentence, however, chimneys which are projected from an exterior wall are usually inappropriate. What does that mean?
so that gets back to like the power vents that was on the side of Bonnie's house. That is what I think they're referring. to.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like a brick chimney. And I'm like,
No.
all brick chimneys are on exterior walls, so
Yeah,
like, okay.
so, which I think is what we've kind of said, which is we don't really want to see them. If you're gonna put them, hide them.
Okay, and then, I guess my issue within that sentence is the word chimneys. Now that you've said that to me, I understand, like, you're talking power
It's
vents.
technically a chimney.
And
Yeah.
again, I just reading this as a resident, I'd be like,
Do you want to just say chimneys and power vents?
yes.
Or chimneys
Chimney
and
slash.
and
About
venting?
manufactured chimneys.
Or chimneys and venting?
Okay,
Is she gonna make these changes?
I'm noting them down, so
Okay.
hopefully she, yeah.
So chimneys and venting,
Okay.
which are projected from exterior walls are usually.
Would that apply to a bathroom fan vent?
It's in the chimney section. I know, yeah.
What do you want it to say now?
I would
Chim-
say chimneys and venting, which are projected, or chimneys and vents, which are projected from an exterior wall are usually inappropriate.
so.
It's in the chimney paragraph, so I don't.
And again, so now if we jump to 2 or II/20. The Historic District Commission allow by right. That
Where you at?
allow is not the right tense,
Oh, Tom.
Allows, yeah,
Allows.
the top sentence.
Yeah.
and. It says, this whole paragraph, and again, I'll let you guys look at it, but this whole paragraph is repeated word for word on the previous page. So if you go to 11-9 or 2-19, the second paragraph, do you see how that paragraph is basically this
The only
there
reason
too?
Oh, yeah, I guess,
You see what I'm saying?
is it the exact same? No, they're different.
It's not,
It's a little bit different.
it's a little bit different, but it's repetitive and I don't know if we need both. If we need both, great. If we don't, I just wanted to note that it's just repeated.
I just leave it. I don't think it
That's-
matters.
So the only change there is allows.
Allows. Now we go to 2-26.
John, are you still in?
Don, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. 2-26. And it's the red section on the first paragraph, second red section says, however, wood windows can be replaced with composite or aluminum clad windows where factory applied is applied to the composite.
Oh, it's supposed to read factory applied paint.
Oh, okay, so paint just
Sorry.
needs to be uncropped
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where we at with that?
So 2-26.
Yeah,
The second red in our edits.
mine's all. Right, yeah.
Okay, so the first paragraph about halfway, it starts with however.
Yeah, however, wood windows can be replaced with composite or aluminum clad windows where factory applied paint.
Yeah, it
Okay.
got
Got
deleted.
accidentally deleted.
Paint is applied to composite or aluminum clad. Yeah.
And again, we can leave it, but if you go to 2-27. With the storm doors, top paragraph, it's basically similar situation as that previous paragraph that I said is repeated. I can't find it right now where it's repeated, but
Just leave it.
it just,
Yeah, I need that.
just leave it, so. And I think I have one more. So this is a general question. When they talk about historic district commission, the H is capitalized, the D is capitalized, and the C is capitalized for historic district commission. But when they talk about historic district, they're both lowercase throughout the document. And I have no problem with it leaving lowercase. I just wanted to ask, is that right?
It's a good question.
They're both proper nouns.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's
Right,
why. Because the historic district is kind of like a specialized.
right. Like
Area.
The White House,
Right,
right.
yeah, so,
So in state documents, I see historic district capitalized, like on SHPA documents. At
okay,
the end, of the day, I think it's a choice, when I think both are proper. We just have to decide which one we want and stick with it.
and I don't care, it was just something that kept popping up when I was looking at it. And so I'll let the committee decide if we don't want to, I mean, it's easily fixed in a find and replace kind of thing.
I think it depends, though. I mean, if you want to get.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, so.
Grammatically.
you could be referring to a historic.
Right,
a-
right.
Right,
Really
and
context.
and the
Right.
editor who's going through can make
Yeah.
that distinction, correct, so
Because I think if it's saying the historic district, it
Mhm.
needs to be capitalized.
capitalized.
If it's saying
But
in a
In
historic
any,
district,
right,
yeah, then it doesn't.
okay, so that was just. A question,
Did you want to ask her to fix that?
I wrote historic district capitalization. Well, so she'll address it
yeah.
throughout the
and-
document.
and Whatever, I'll
Yep.
defer to her.
Yep.
And sense.
She's gonna watch the video and kind of do this, but I'm trying to take notes.
Yeah,
So she
sure.
doesn't have to,
And a 2-45. Question was in the previous section of this discussion on light fixtures. We had deleted a recently developed light source is the so-called Ceramulux lamp, which offers high efficiency of high pressure sodium, but with superior color rendition.
No, you're right.
And then it was in the previous section, it's deleted, but not in this section. So,
Just delete the sentence.
yeah, so that I would suggest she delete that sentence again. That's all mine. But I have those are all my edits, but I have 3 questions.
okay. I'm sorry, I missed the last one. I was trying to
Oh,
get some info from Sue as to what she was looking for. Could you repeat the 1145 item that you noted?
Third paragraph down, third sentence, a recently developed light source. Just delete that whole sentence.
All right, so we're gonna delete.
It's actually the second sentence in the third paragraph.
No, it's the third, because incandescent lamps is the second.
A recently developed light
Yeah,
source.
Oh, yeah.
that one. Yep.
Sure.
So, and because this is heavy reading and I read it at nighttime, so maybe I missed these, but I wrote 3 things that I felt were not addressed.
Can
Oh,
I just cut you off one thing?
good, yeah,
The last sentence of that page where it says wherever possible, utilities should be placed below grade. You should just change it to placed underground. It's just more of a common way of saying it.
You wanted to say underground?
Yeah. Unless anyone objects, but that's just a easier,
Yeah.
someone might be like, what
is
does it
grade?
know?
What is grade?
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
No worries. So 3 items items not addressed. Window shades like SIFT put on. Do you remember when SIFT came and they talked about? There was a shade he was dropping down
Yeah, but that's,
and maybe it's in here and under a section and I missed it, but I just wanted to we approved it because it was aesthetically pleasing, didn't take away from.
So
the-
what's your question? Whether
Do
they're,
we need to add a section?
oh, that they're permitted?
That they're permitted? Because I would hate for someone to read this, say, oh, it doesn't say anything about shades, so therefore I don't have.
Well,
to
shade's
come-
the right term even.
Well, I don't know, what do you know what I'm talking about, that filament that he,
Yeah, it's like a window.
oh, okay.
It's really more of a window, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd have to, all the tracking and everything would be in there,
right,
so.
but where in there does it say
If you call it a window,
the window?
unless you call it a storm screen, but I don't think that's.
Okay.
All right.
And I didn't, again, this is just for the committee to talk about. Fence height deviation, do you know how we've been very meticulous about saying it can be a 4 foot height that's not a 3 foot fence that doesn't exceed 4 foot? Do we want to put something along that same lines within the document itself? When they're talking about fencing?
The only reason I think no is because they're coming and saying they want a 4 foot fence and we're giving them a grace.
Okay.
If we wanted to, in this scenario, keep it rigid for a reason, or
It allows us to do so.
reduce the.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I think you're better off weighing each one on an individual
And
basis,
that's
you know.
totally fine, and violations in the process. And there is a like a section on the zoning. But I just feel like, and maybe again, it's one of those we want to keep vague, like, how many warnings do you get before, like, I don't know if there's any kind of specifics about what, how, yeah, we're gonna be,
What's the end point?
yeah, what's the end game for if you keep violating, so. And,
I think that might be a question just for Rich,
okay,
when he reviews this, just to say, how do you clarify
okay,
the violation piece?
so Eric brought up a good point, it's a question for Rich,
Okay.
then how do we clarify the violation process? And
Because there's parts in there, stop work orders, notices of violation, fines for non-compliance. So in light of his commentary here, how do we clean that up to be more accurate to what
we
is actually
Right.
the process?
So this
So
document
like you're
mimics
looking,
reality.
you're looking for like a distinct process.
Well, there is a process in here.
Well, there's a process in notification, but there's not a step-by-step process, correct?
The Historic District Commission Enforcement Officer may issue an immediate stop work order for any construction or demolition activities which are proceeding in violation, that goes on. A notice of violation may be issued for any work which has already
May.
been completed.
Maybe issued,
Yeah,
so it's not mandating that it be done.
Right. And I'm not saying
Right,
it has to be rigid and really structured, but at least. I don't know, when I read it, I just didn't feel like I had a good grasp of. If I mess up, what happens?
so it says, should any violation persist, the same section of the state statute permits the Historic District Commission to issue action in Superior Court, which was my point to him, was you guys don't get to choose, the commission gets to choose. That's a state statute.
well, you can request and then
No, the stat,
above us can determine if they're going to pursue it or not.
yeah, the statute says that the commission makes the choice. So I think if we're not in that point, we're not
Right.
in that place, or and we've
Yeah.
never been there. But in the event that, in my opinion, in the event that it ever became a point where there was a contention between John Burt and the commission makes the determination, not John.
Okay.
But that, we've never been there, and I don't see that
And I'm
being,
not trying to start a fight with this discussion, believe me, I'm just trying to say.
Oh, we know you, we.
No, but it was just when I went over it, like what was missing, that's what. Those were
but
my
I do
comments.
think that 1-13, he should propose alternative language
Okay,
to just delineate the process better. And if he doesn't want to do it, then we can write a,
A draft, and
yeah.
okay.
so I'm not sure if anyone else
I
Does any-
do have a question. There is nothing in this document about how new homeowners know about this document. So there's just an assumption that homeowners know that they're in the historic district, that they need to refer to this. So while we're renewing this or redoing this, I thought it would be a good time to bring up this question. So for example, when I bought my house, well, you guys all know the story. I bought my house. I didn't realize what being in the historic district meant. And it was only by a series of stumbles that I found out that this document existed. So I didn't know if there was some process when a person bought the house that a real estate agent. Well, I know the real estate agent lets people know, but does somebody sign something at closing and receives this booklet?
No,
So.
and it's kind of like if you went to a store and you stole a loaf of bread and you left. And then you said, oh, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to steal that. That doesn't get you off the hook. So I think some of it's incumbent on the homeowner or whoever moves in. And I was like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you can set up a system where you've got a notice system that anyone who buys a house in the district automatically gets a certificate or a letter from someone telling them they're in the district. I mean, it's an unworkable mandate, in my opinion.
Actually, I don't know, how hard would it be? I mean, when you go to the clerk's office and register, you bought the house, right? They know you're in the historic district. How hard would it be to, produce a letter? Welcome to the historic district.
You don't do that. The closing attorney's assistant comes and does it.
No,
It would-
agreed, but the town's gonna know when you close that you bought the house. So how hard would it be to produce a letter and say, dear Miss Paco, welcome to the historic district, blah, 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 please go to here on the website.
I
to
just
learn
think
about
I think it's a pretty onerous,
Yeah,
and I think that in all the other places I've owned properties that are in historic districts, you just have to know.
Okay,
I know
it's like
it
it's like a
stinks,
buyer
but yeah.
beware thing.
I mean,
basically.
it's similar to if you were to buy a house with a homeowners association. I would say that it's due diligence to make a determination how that house is encumbered and what your responsibilities are.
I also think that unless it's like landscaping or like what you did, someone's gonna know the minute they go to file a permit.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on, our permitting software now, you can go on to permit the parcel manager, the parcel profile. And it has what fire district you're in, what zoning district you're in, other districts such as it's all laid out right there.
Right.
That's fair, and I understand part of it is on the homeowner, but some of it may not be, so. If the town wants you to comply with this, I think that the town does have some responsibility to alert a homeowner
But-
to this.
So,
Playing devil's advocate, what would that be any different than like zoning rules?
right, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Your house has zoning regulations and
Every town has zoning regulations,
Right.
every town's is different,
Okay.
so.
we got 12 different zones here in town and buildings and everything else or whatever they are, it's.
I think in concept, it's really great. I
Concept great implementation.
would be very
Oh,
difficult.
yeah, unworkable.
I understand.
And then if they didn't notify, then you'd have a cause of action, what's that gonna get you?
Right,
Are they gonna get you off the hook? Oh, I wasn't told about the HTC, so
Right.
therefore I don't have to comply with its regulations.
right.
Yeah, fair enough.
It also creates a bigger headache for the town because then if they missed sending it or something.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
it's,
Okay,
Yeah,
that was it for me. Everything else I was fine with.
Did Ted email you anything?
no,
He went through the previous meeting
When we were, okay, that
and,
was his
and
stuff.
he made his suggestions, at that meeting.
I'm just thinking, going back to the violation piece, why don't I just draft something up for the next meeting? And we can just make that
Hash
the
it out.
final thing and then we'll pass it along.
That's,
That'll probably avoid a back and forth between you
Yeah.
guys and Rich.
I think that
Yeah.
makes the most efficient use of
That
time.
makes sense.
So I'll do my best to draft up
Yeah.
what I believe to be what you all want. And then we can talk.
Just
about
kind of draft it up and give it a section or whatever and tell Sue where you want it. So she
Yeah.
can insert it in.
I'll just do a track changes to that,
Okay,
but I'll print it and I'll bring it as a paper copy for everyone.
okay,
And then if, depending on what it is, I'll email her the
Okay,
final.
perfect.
So we're not, same thing, she's not changing it to them, not changed.
Yeah, it gets a little cumbersome when you start having a document
Yeah.
like this and you gotta try to over and over and over.
Okay. New business.
You're observing no new business?
Okay.
So and it's up to you guys, you may, I don't know where you want to bring up the email that was forwarded today regarding 7 Water Street, if you want to do that under
Yeah.
enforcement or under old business or
I think under new business.
under new business.
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Just the only question I had was that High Street vinyl fence, and then we can move on.
I brought it to Tom's attention. He had been in contact with the people and he was under the understanding that they had an application in and they ended up not.
Okay.
So he has re-noticed them. There's a violation, a notice of violation.
Okay.
So it already went out.
Um,
So essentially, he had to start the process all over again.
so
Can I ask one thing too? While we're under, kind of, are we under new business?
yeah,
So, and I don't know what you guys' take is on this, but, 50 Fort Hill. Across the street from the town hall, and across the street from, Dairy Queen, the house on the corner there, the old house. It's on the Connecticut and the National Historic Register. It's for sale right now. It's owned by a church. They own that building and the brick building to the right of it, or block building to the right of it. I've gotten multiple inquiries about tearing it down.
50,
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
have any opinion on that being, I know it's out of the district, but
we can't.
so you have no opinion. So if somebody were to ask for any kind of, like, if they apply to the state, to take it down, or however they're gonna, whatever means they have to, and they came to you, would you guys consider
No,
drafting, like either
No.
no opinion or of, no, like you're not objection to it being taken down?
no opinion.
No opinion?
That's it.
So can I say something, not as a commissioner, but as a resident? Can I weigh in on it that way?
I know we're in on a meeting here, so I don't know how you do that, but
No, because I think, sorry, John, I just think the point is that we regulate what we're allowed to regulate, and that's it.
Right. No, that's why I was gonna say it's not as a commissioner, it's just, I don't know if everybody's aware of what could happen if somebody tried to tear it down. And that's more of as a resident comment, not a commissioner comment, because it's not in any of the districts that we cover.
It doesn't matter, yeah, so we can't. And I don't think we should be writing a letter to
okay,
support.
people were just
support it or-
asking if, what would the HDC, would they have any opinion about this? And I said, I don't know, I'll bring it up to them and see if they would support the removal and redevelopment of it, or if they would have no opinion or whatever. So
I don't,
as I reply to people, I'll tell them that you guys will have no input on it.
no, if it's outside the district boundaries, no input.
Okay.
Because I just imagine the disaster of that,
The bad precedent that it would set.
not even that, but, well, yeah, yes, but I mean, in the fact that. Then people would be asking us to weigh in about stuff that we.
Right, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a commission member in their private capacity can say whatever they want about it,
Mhm.
but.
Yeah,
not-
John, you want to support it or whatever, you do whatever you want on your own time.
No, I have zero feelings on it. It's on the Connecticut and the National Registry, so tear down has an extra layer that the owner needs to be aware of it. If that's it, I'll
And
stop there.
we've relayed that to everybody that comes in.
Okay.
and That seems to be the thing where they just lose interest.
It's
Because
it
it's. that's
says
the process.
owner, born again church object. Women,
Now, Tim,
Owned
one
by
thing you could,
Nonprofit.
one thing you could suggest
How's that?
is,
I'm listening, John.
yeah, I mean, the thing you could suggest if somebody wanted to buy it and contacted Preservation Connecticut, they will sometimes put people that want to move those homes together. And if said developer wanted to assist in the fund of moving it, that's just an extra, what option they have.
Okay.
And I could email you the contacts that if you would just want to share it. That's just another tool
Yeah,
in their
you can-
belt.
I mean, yeah. We're not like the historic. Body for Groton.
I understand that. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, the question has been posed a couple times to me through people that have inquired And I just wanted to say, I don't know, I'll talk to them and see what their take is on it. So
Okay.
my response moving forward will be they have no opinion on it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
I just wanted to make sure that if somebody does apply to the state and tear it down, you don't go, how come we weren't notified? So that's
We-
that.
Yeah,
We
wasn't
have
there a
box.
notification process in the town to tell everyone who on the Historic District Commission about anything that might get torn down? I'm just kidding.
We literally have a box. Don't bother us with anything else.
Yeah, I.
We like
agree,
our
I
little
agree.
box.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree if we can get, actually, it's a problematic property and if I can get rid of it with as little layers as possible, that would be the best case scenario for us as well.
We actually have 3 little boxes. Those
Right.
are the 2 weird areas that we always forget about.
Right.
Yeah.
Balance Street, whatever it's called.
Okay,
So going back to your thing, was that an email only between you two?
John emailed me. I forwarded it on.
I've been talking about this, so Eric asked that I email him directly so he could manage it, so that's why I did it that way.
But how
Well,
do
I
you,
think in one of the last meetings, didn't you ask anybody who had anything regarding
yeah,
what was going on there to contact you and give you that
Yeah.
information? Yeah.
Yep.
so that we're going back and forth with just comments.
Right.
So, but how do you want to treat this? Because I think this is fine. I think this is great. We can
So
deal with
I'm
it.
gonna leave it up to you guys if you want to discuss the items that John submitted to you. So it just so happened that Moses came into the office about an hour after that email came.
And
And
John
I told him
Moses
that
is
we were
here.
potentially going to discuss the items on the list tonight and his historic status, if you would. We have begun the certificate of occupancy process down there. We've done walkthroughs with the fire marshal. Pointed out a lot of violations, a lot of things we want corrected. He's actively correcting everything on the inside. We have walked around the outside and looked at a lot of things. The planning department is tentatively scheduled to go out there for their site plan approval. The applicant or the tenant is actually working right now to clarify a bunch of things like the drainage that was installed. The engineering report for the drainage that was installed in the parking lot. We're trying to finish up all that stuff. I have gone down and taken pictures all the way around the building. And I've pulled all the plans and all the approvals. The last, I think there's 3 or 4 of them now. And I'm trying to work through what has been reviewed by you guys and expected by you guys and what has been done down there and what is not consistent with what has come through the channels. And that's kind of where we're at right now. It's my goal. He has pretty much taken care of everything on the inside or has a comprehensive list on the inside from myself and the fire marshal's office. Now we're doing the outside.
Okay, but does he have the list that John sent?
He did not.
Okay, so do you want? What do you want to call? I don't have any problem with this. It's just, what do you want to call it?
That's up to you. Member concerns about 7 Water Street.
You always call it enforcement and just deal with it that way, because there's no reason.
I
why-
don't think it's not really
New business?
enforcement at this point.
I think it's new business.
It's typical business. I wouldn't really classify it as enforcement.
Well, except it's unpermitted work, so. But there's no reason why we can't have an enforcement dialogue. I think that's a great thing. Get their
Okay.
stuff repaired.
Well, that's up to you guys, how you want to word it and address it, however you're comfortable.
I didn't
and-
see the email, so I know that.
So, yeah, I think unless someone objects, I think calling it just an enforcement discussion. And then we can go through the items and try to get it fixed.
That would be
Because
best.
you're
case
gonna
scenario.
be seeing it, you're gonna be seeing it as he's gonna be seeing it, so everyone's just gonna kind of have to play nice.
Yes, okay.
Okay, do you want to come up, do you mind? I mean, I want to preface this, like, this has been a disaster for a while, way before you. were involved.
I've heard.
So, but we just want to get it corrected.
Yeah, of
In
course,
some
as do I.
way.
And I think that you've seen what I've done with the outside of the building in just a few weeks. I think that it looks pretty elegant in my opinion, with the new paint job. It was my intent to cover those propane tanks anyway, even before I knew that you were asking to do so, because I thought that it was an eyesore. The same with the trash section of that parking lot.
Can I just interrupt real
Can we
quick?
make a motion?
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
No, of
Moses, but can
And
we
also,
kind of do this structurally and go by this list?
Yeah,
And then I can go by some of the items that I've noted and then maybe we can have
Yeah,
a discussion.
Wanted him to finish.
I'm sorry, okay,
saying
I just didn't want to start listing things off and then
No.
going back and forth.
I was planning on
without-
cutting
okay.
him off. I just wanted to let him talk.
Can he introduce himself? Cause I don't know.
Hi,
I'm
my name
new
is
to Yard.
Moses LeBoy. I'm Moses LeBoy. So
Hi, Moses.
I'm the new operator of 7 Water Street, formerly known as Pizzetta. We're naming it Pearl Provisions and Tipples. Tipples is my Jeopardy word for most. And yeah, I'm just excited to get this place open, pretty heavily invested at this point, and just want to bring something really special to Mystic.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So let me just walk you through what John emailed over.
So can I make a motion? Do we need a motion to have this discussion?
I think you should make a motion to include him in the discussion,
Okay,
because it's
so-
not a public participation item. And
I'd like to-
however you want to word it.
I'd like
I
to
would-
make a motion to discuss 7 Water Street and let
Moses.
Moses be involved in the discussion with the staff and the commission.
It's got to be under either pre-app or enforcement, so I would make it
Oh.
enforcement.
Okay, under the auspices of enforcement.
I will second that. All in favor?
Heck, I,
Grady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Thank you. All right, so look, I'm sorry to kind of read this to you, but let me just walk through it and we can take it one by one. So John's first thing is there was a tent in the back for 2 years that was never approved. This should be removed.
Gone and in the trash.
Okay, so you good with that?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
very big eyesore.
Agreed. There's black screening and poles on the northeast corner of the patio that does not seem to be approved.
Yeah, so that was a discussion that was had several years ago with Deb Jones, according to the information that I have. And it was more directed to the neighbors, and it is a soundboard, so
Okay.
keeping sound in. I did send Tim an email earlier today, because again, it was approved by Deb Jones
Or do you
several
want
years
to,
ago.
do you want to keep it?
If it's in the interest of the community and keeping sound locked into that area, I'd love to.
So just.
Can I just add something real quick on that? So this was putting that up was part of an enforcement action that Kevin brought forth because of live music that was being outside on that patio. People were adjacent properties were complaining. So this was a resolution that was part of a 2000 and I think it's 14 or 16 application that was part of the patio that was on the outside there. It's noted on a plan on an application that was approved at one point in time.
I think you should just take some pictures and put an application in
Okay.
for it.
All right, I just wanted to give you a history of.
Does anyone feel
Of
strongly
where it was.
against said poles? On screening? No. So
I actually have pictures on it now that I took earlier today.
I just put an application in by next Thursday, include that in it. Because there's gonna be a couple items you're gonna want to put an application in
Okay.
for.
You want pen and paper?
I actually brought one.
Oh, okay.
Should I go on a bigger sheet? Go on this one.
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay, John, do you have anything else on that one?
Nope.
Okay. 3, the plans show 2 HVAC units. There are more than 2. And he was gonna give you the exact total the next time you drove by. So I think.
I want to say there's 3, but I don't remember exactly. I just know there's more than
I
2
think
when I
he's
did a
talking
walk
about
around.
the condensers on the roof of the addition. So
And I believe that Tim Owens put in a permit for that after the original.
So in
Permit?
6/20/23, you guys approved the modification to add additional rooftop units. You approved the screening method, you approved a reconfiguration of the screening method. And to hide the condensers and hide the additional kitchen equipment venting.
okay, so it was approved.
It was HDC 23-31. It's a pretty detailed application. It was presented by Mark Como.
Was that the one that where he just gave us the pictures?
There's pictures and then there's plans and then there's actually some material outlined in it, what he was proposing to use.
I think the,
Yeah. So if I may, my bone of contention on that, Tim,
What's
is he
that?
never my bone of contention on that meeting is he never specifically presented that. He threw some plans and some pictures in front of us. And I mean, that was that conversation. I think you were involved with me and
Well,
Rich Cody.
I have this in the file, it's approved as submitted. So
But that's the whole,
and it's HDC 23-31.
yeah, but that's the whole conversation with Rich Cody about stuff that he just threw in there without it.
This was a whole separate application specifically addressing this. It was a modification of the original approval. It was a modification.
Yeah, I remember that meeting. That's where Mark came in and sort of waved his hands and
Is
said,
that
"Oh, I just
when
got
I-
back from
Sarah and I
vacation and I don't
recused ourselves?
remember."
I believe you did. And
Yes,
it was, and then John voted no and everybody else
But
voted in
John
favor of it.
included the minutes in that thing and it wasn't, he just, all the minutes say relating to that was. I don't think it's an issue if you just add it in as a second item, but let me just make my comment on it. So all it says in that. Mark Camo presented to the commission for Tim Owens. Camo explained that during construction, there were structural issues that required adjustments. The construction has been completed and now they are realizing that some of the project has changed from the original plan by the commission. Camo reviewed the changes and noticed that most were substantive of the foundation, a stairwell from the rear patio and second floor windows. The roof has been raised up for the most part, remains the same. Camo summarized the changes for the commission. So,
Right, but the fact that the minutes don't specifically address that, if it was in the plans that were submitted,
They
it
don't
was
have-
approved.
no, they don't. That's what.
Why is
Well,
that?
it's on the application.
But that's,
It's detailed on the application.
That's
That's
a
the
discussion we
content.
had with Cody, which I disagreed with his interpretation
yeah.
anyway.
I would just take a picture and just put it in.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Just take a picture of the HVAC units and just submit it when you submit the thing for the screening in the back. What difference does it make? It's just gonna clean it up.
Yeah, I just, well,
Maybe it was already approved, maybe it wasn't, but this is such a cluster.
I agree. And I'm trying to sort through it too.
You're
I'm trying
making
to
it-
figure out
you're
what's been
making it-
approved, what's been constructed,
You're
what's.
making it worse, respectfully. If he just, how is it not, give me a minute. How is it not worse for him to just make a list of the things that are there existing?
Okay,
Submit it as a new
what if he
application?
gets denied?
It's not gonna get denied for HVAC units. We haven't denied any ever.
But
What
I
do you
wouldn't
think, just
deny
gonna
it.
walk in, he's gonna be the first person in the last 5 years to walk in with HVAC units and suddenly out of nowhere?
No, but you
the
have
5
already,
of
but
us-
you have already approved it. There's,
Not in that, I don't believe
I
in
mean,
that.
I don't care if he wants to do it, that's up to him. I'm explaining my findings.
How could we have approved HVAC units that were not on the roof when the time when Mark came in? They weren't up there.
He asked for additional.
There were
units to
no
be put up there.
photos and there were no, this is, why don't you do this job?
Stop.
Why don't you do it?
I don't want that job.
Neither do I anymore,
Oh,
but it,
well,
this is-
that's up to
this is
you.
ridiculous, though.
I,
You wanna run it or you want me to?
I'm not running it.
You
Eric,
are.
I'm simply
No,
telling
you're-
you what is in the files and
snapped at
what
him
my,
before.
my,
And now you're jumping at me to try to clean the thing up. I'm trying to give the best case, the best thing.
and
so
I'm
he can-
trying to work what you guys have requested repeatedly over and over and over. I spend a lot of time in my day sorting through this to try to have comprehensive information for you guys.
Because it got messed up for years by Tom or whoever else. I don't.
Well, that's not, I'm trying to sort it out. I'm trying to clean it up too.
So why don't we,
Moses, would you mind putting that in an application? Would that be too much for you?
Clean it up.
Look, I, like I said, I'm pretty heavily invested at this point, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this place open, right? I would
Consider it a pre-app. Does anyone have any issues with the HVAC units as they are currently situated up there?
I don't. And as the guy that made the list, I may not have a problem with anything on here. I just want the project done right and I want the approvals approved. You know, I wasn't going to read this out, but in the last part of my email to Eric, just so the board and Timothy that knows and Moses knows, I mean, it's a pretty important building in our downtown business character. You know, let's be honest, Mystic is number 4 for tourism. Our downtown is the golden goose that keeps this town going. My concern is I just want a beautiful building to look beautiful so that people that go to his restaurant enjoy it and tell their friends to come back. That's good for us as a community. So
And I
I'm not
promise
sitting
that,
here
and I
trying.
promise that I'm gonna give you a beautiful building. think that
And I believe that. I
80% there
do
already.
believe that. So,
I know.
so my thing, I'm not sitting here trying to cause trouble. I just want it done right. So, I mean, if anybody's afraid that I'm going to tell Moses no on any of this, I'm not. I mean, I'm asking that it gets done. So, Tim, if you don't have a problem with it, he's willing to put on the application. I think it just cleans everything up. That's my
agree.
opinion.
And I also, there were no HVAC units on the roof when Mark came in here. And the plans that Mark submitted with that application don't show any HVAC units. So I don't care what Mark talked about. He had nothing that he could have shown. So all I'm saying is just clean it up. And everyone's saying the same thing. There's not an issue, but for his.
I
own
disagree. The application has the condensers, it has a detail of the rail. There's a lot of things that were on that. But I defer to you. You can handle it however you choose. I'm just trying to help out the applicant. I'm trying to help out you guys.
So
If it's not appreciated, or if you feel I'm making it cumbersome, I'll step back from it and you guys can handle it.
I just
I
want
just
to
want
make
to say I appreciate your research.
I just want to make an editorial comment for myself personally. I think that we have in the past and have gotten too hung up on process and pay less attention to just pragmatism. So I think a lot of these discussions in my mind are not material. They're just not material. I don't think they're worth talking about forever. In other words, if Tim says that the condensers were on the roof and we approve the plan, then we approve the plan. Why are we so hung up on process? Perfect is the enemy of good is what I'm saying.
Well, it's been brought to my attention that I should not issue a certificate of occupancy until the commission is satisfied with the conditions that are installed down there. And I'm trying to work through that.
Which is why I'm suggesting that he just adds the things that are ambiguous so that we don't continue to get. Look, John, respectfully, I would like to put an end to this and I'd like to just be done with it so that there are no more email lists coming out.
I'm trying,
But
I'm trying.
You're like two political parties. You have the same end game. You're just going about it in different manners. So if you want to just go through the list, and in the end, what you might find through your research is that we're double approving items. I think that
If you want to go through the list and ask me if I have anything on it, from a staff point of view or anything that's on file, I'll answer the questions and you guys can make the decision from there, how you want to move ahead.
thank you. Appreciate it.
I think that
So I think the suggestion is just to add a picture of the HVAC units as they are currently installed and
Sure.
just put it on the application. There was a solid screening below that HVAC that just doesn't look like it's finished. I'm assuming you're gonna finish it.
It's
That's-
not a
that's
solid,
correct.
it's not a solid screening. It's a screening with balusters on it.
But the
And then the
lower,
bottom part is still just lumber. We need to finish that up.
yeah, so as long as you're aware of it.
Yeah, carpenters on that.
The bollards in front of the electrical service are installed on even heights and are not even bollards. They are exposed metal lolly columns.
I'm sorry, tell me that again.
So in front of the electrical service on the side of the building,
Yeah,
there's
on the parking lot side?
there's 3 bollards, John?
Yes,
This is on the parking lot side,
yes,
where the meters are?
Yeah.
yes.
So there's like 3 tubes in front of them. I think they just need bollard covers.
I have a
noticed that,
picture,
but
I have
I'll
a
take
picture of
look
them
at
if
it.
you want to see them.
Generally, there's like a yellow plastic cover that's sold by like U-Line that you just stick on top.
Does it have to be yellow,
No, there's white, yellow, black.
black?
Do anything.
Great.
That's those right there if you want to see them.
Yeah. These 3 guys here?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
There's like a foam on the inside. The point is if someone taps it, they're not tapping a metal.
I try not to touch that thing all the time with my car.
So if you can just get those.
Yep,
There's supposed to be stairs on the front right of the porch that was never built. I'll chime in on that one. That was changed by Tim when we were doing the construction. So you just need to add to the application that you're not putting the stairs.
on what side?
If you're facing the front of the building on the right side of the
Right
deck,
side, yeah.
there's supposed to be stairs coming down.
Into the
Just
parking lot?
Towards the parking lot.
Yeah,
Towards the parking lot?
like in front of the windows.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So just, yeah,
Sorry.
just make
I'd
a,
be serious.
I didn't mean to laugh.
just ask for a modification to that.
Okay.
Jumping ahead, commercial hood mechanicals are not the ones that are described on the plans. My suggestion, again, just take a picture of it and submit it as just an as-built. When you do the HVAC units, just send it in, it's the same thing. And just ask for approval for the commercial.
Tell me that last part again.
So there's commercial hood equipment, like the venting on the top of that roof.
The makeup area
Yeah,
units?
John says it doesn't match what was on the plans, so
Okay.
just take a picture of it and submit it as a new or as a modification when you do the HVAC units. And then what's there gets approved. The propane tanks are not installed where they are on the plan and they're on the sidewalk.
I have a commentary on that. So yes, I went over that with the fire marshal and Tim last week, and we are fixing that. So we're gonna line them up rather than being in the square that they are. We've already moved the electrical over because the closest electrical needed to be 10 or 12 feet away. So we've put that 12 feet away already. Just waiting on the propane company to come this week even and line them up rather than have them in that square.
Okay, this is another thing I was involved in. The propane tanks were originally supposed to be in the back somewhere. So if you're gonna move them to the front and put them on the side of the house, you're just gonna need to add an application for that.
Is that separate?
When I looked at and actually when we looked at the plan, they were on the side of the building. They were never in the back,
Let me just look at the,
according to the plan that we were looking at. The only difference was that there were 3 tanks instead of 4 tanks, and they were in a row rather than in a square.
right, but so this is John's email attachment, but this shows the plans. See, they're back there, but right now they're up here. So if you want to move them up here, just
That's a drain, Eric. That's not the tanks, I think. That's a like a flood drain or a storm drain or something. That's not tanks.
okay, sorry. They're here,
Yeah.
but they're here. They're down in like that stairwell area.
Yeah, that, I was about to say that'd be a really weird and inconvenient place, because that's the,
Totally agree. But if you're gonna move them here, just add it to your application.
okay.
Just to get them moved.
A lot of this you can do with photographs,
Yeah. And
Oh.
whatever screening you're gonna have around the propane tanks.
but take the photograph from far enough away so you can tell where you are.
Yeah.
Through this process, I've learned how to use CAD software, so
Yeah.
now I'm a novice architect.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get back to this thing. Uh. John, it says is HVAC on the north side of the building.
HVAC unit on the, yeah, sorry.
There's a condenser.
Yeah. Doesn't appear to be on the plans.
If there's a condenser that was added, the same thing, just take.
Yeah, it's attached to the side of the building.
Just take a picture and submit it as a new condenser. The lower door on the east side of the new addition is different size from the original plans. The original door called for a flood door. Did flood door design change? If so, it needs to be approved. You want to clarify that a little?
Yeah, it's a different door and it called for a flood door, so I don't know why there's a different door there. So I guess I need that answered. But anyhow, there's a different door than the plan calls for, and it's a different size.
What door was speaking of?
That's the single door by the staircase in the back of the new addition. That was supposed to be like a, oh, I don't even remember.
The
12
single
foot
door
wide
that
door or
said
something.
entrance on it when it was put
Yeah.
that up?
It was supposed to be like a 10-foot or 12-foot wide door, and then Tim changed to a single door. I think he reused the original door that was there.
Okay.
It's upstairs now, it opens up.
Not that
that-
bifold
that-
door down below that goes out to the brick.
There's one set of doors to the right, to the north side, that open up to 8, 10, 12 feet.
No, in the new addition down that walks out onto the brick. All far left, there's like there's a single door there.
Okay, so what do you need done with that door?
Just a picture of the door and say you're modifying it from whatever the original door was to that door. And then only because of the question, this is my question, is just did the flood door, was it ever bought,
Yes, I have it in storage.
fit that door or to fit
Yeah.
another door?
Both, the full doors on the downstairs.
Yeah,
I have them in storage.
you just might want to check because if he bought the flood door for the big door and you don't have the big door anymore, the small flood door is not going to work. The big flood door is not going to work for the small door.
Well, we have the flood covers for the big door on the north side.
Yeah.
And then the flood door for the smaller door. So it encompasses that entire space there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have that in storage.
So that kind of leads into my next question. You have the flood barriers?
Yes, so the whole system was purchased by Tim Owens.
Right.
In the whole moving things around, I got a storage and I pulled all that stuff into my new storage unit.
So that's my next point. In our special meeting, we had a flood guy here that said he did a flood project with you guys. That's not approved either. So I don't think those barriers ever got approved. I couldn't find it.
No, that was approved. It was on the plans.
Okay, then I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was on the original ones. My only question was if he bought the door for a 12-foot wide door and it doesn't work, it's kind of silly, but whatever. That was your question 11. 12, the stairs to the dentist or office on the east side are not the same as on the plans.
I mean, I didn't change that or modify that at all. Except for painting them.
Yeah. I would just submit it as a modified stairs.
Take a picture of the stairs to the dentist and say, this is it, so that
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that
Yeah.
there were any mods done to that staircase, but I'll take a picture of it.
The corbels are missing from the addition. Do you feel strongly about wanting the corbels added back? Does anyone feel strongly about the corbels in one way or another?
are they painted
Feel
black?
strongly about it.
They're not there.
But I know, but was that area just painted black?
Yeah.
Well, then you can't see them. I just,
Submit for modification, just remove the corbels.
What are corpals?
They're like little architectural
Little,
details that.
like on the underside of a overhang.
If
And
this
what
is,
part of the building is this on?
if this is your roof and here's your wall, this is a corbel. In some form of that,
Ah, yeah, okay,
just say you want them removed. Because they're not there.
where? Is there not there, where were they?
I don't remember, but. There was somewhere on the plans.
Yeah,
Or
they're on the
take a
plans.
picture of?
Nothing, just say, just modification to
Say,
remove corbels.
Corbels is specified not to be installed. Corbel. Yes,
Lights and fans were never approved, same thing, just take a picture and submit it. And just ask for lights and fans,
Say that one more time.
the lights and fans,
The fans never went up. I'm not putting them up. The fans inside the new structure or the fans in the front? porch?
anything outside.
Outside.
I don't think they're fans in the front porch, they're fans in the back porch.
Just take a picture and just say. Lights and fans, you're just gonna submit it all as if we were asking to get it approved.
Good.
Can we get some understanding on the brick wall in the rear?
Yes, there's a wall in the rear. It's like half brick, half stone. Was
Would
we
you like
built
to
the
weigh
brick
in?
wall out.
No.
I know nothing. Can't find it anywhere.
That 2-foot wall,
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's the one
so-
where it's brick on one
Um,
side and stone on the other.
I'll jump in again. When we did it, Tim wanted that all done, but he didn't want to take down the other wall because he wanted to still use that patio side. So the question is, I think your question is, was it? It was the understanding, at least on my end, that it was going to be redone. The other side, because the right side's different. The right side's like an existing stacked, like unilock wall.
if you're looking at the.
Yeah, the
You're
left-
talking about the back
Yeah, the left part,
2-3 foot high wall.
if you're in the parking lot, you're staring at the building.
Right,
The left wall we built.
okay,
The right wall was like an original unilock wall that I don't think was ever approved. So what Tim wanted to do originally was make that brick wall across the whole back, so everything was the same. But we left before we got the chance to do the right side.
okay, so what are you asking?
What are we asking?
I'll leave that up to you guys. I couldn't find it approved. That's why I brought it up. I mean, leave it as is. Do you want it all to match?
This
the
is the
conversation
wall
we
that
could
Eric
have.
said was rebuilt, which is the end of it's right here,
And
and
that-
this is the wall they're referencing. They're looking for.
That was
clarification.
modified from the plans, but Como did come for that.
Okay,
That just happens to be the wall that the awning, the shrouds are mounted on as well.
right,
if that's relevant.
Take a picture to approve.
Would you want to approve a half a wall? That would be another question. Of everything that John raised, that's the only thing that I would question. Do you want half a wall that's one way and a half wall that's another way?
Well,
Well,
why
the
don't
one
you-
half wall is covered by the black panels that are soundproofing. And it also has benches in front, and it's my intention to put flowers in front of that and sort of cover all that up to make it.
Well, then what you should do is submit the walls as they are and ask for approval. See what happens.
Like that, see what happens.
Well, that's.
Or submit for the wall to get fixed to brick? Get it approved, and you got 5 years to do it.
Okay. It's a lot better than 6 months.
There's a large parking sign in front of the parking lot. It says
On the right side when you pull in.
Yeah, so that is switching on Thursday. On Thursday, that'll be turned over to Pearl Provisions and Tipples, and will remain with the dentist's name on it also.
Same thing, you just gotta get it approved.
Gotta get all the signage approved.
Was that not approved when we did our signage approval for the oval sign? I think that we put all that
No.
together.
I would say for that one.
No,
No?
no.
It was just the one off the.
Right, just the oval sign.
Off the deck.
Okay. That's supposed to be installed on Thursday. Does that matter?
Just take a picture of it.
I unfortunately don't think you're gonna get anything done for 3 weeks. So,
What do you mean?
like, you have to come back in 3 weeks to do all this.
But
For
he's
us to
saying
approve
it's getting.
Oh, I don't,
Yeah, it's getting
It's
installed
getting
on
installed
Thursday.
Thursday, so it's gonna be retroactive.
all the stuff is,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Okay, I just.
Yeah, just, you just got to deal with it in 3 weeks.
yeah. Which is May 5th,
Yeah, so whatever that,
7.
May 7th.
Yeah.
Okay,
but for your own benefit, really make sure you,
yeah, I mean, I'd like to open up on May 8th.
yeah, because then you're going 5 weeks otherwise. And then there's a prefab shed, this is the last one, a prefab shed between the building and SIFT.
Yes. That's been there forever, as far as I know. I think it's been there for the last 7 years.
So, same thing, if you want to keep it, you gotta get it approved.
Even though it's been there for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Would this not have been approved a while ago?
Can I
I'll
weigh
take
in on
that.
that?
Yeah,
Because it wasn't on the approved site plan for the project. I believe it was put in place during pandemic outdoor dining, so it was probably exempt at that point.
Yeah.
But all that exemption has expired,
I don't think it could stay because it's too close to. the
and
property line.
it's too close to the other buildings.
You might want to get rid of it.
It's the fire distances.
So we'd have to approve it because of what it looks like, but zoning's gonna have to approve it, and I don't think they can approve it because it's, you can't be that close.
Even if they say it's okay, we won't. Building wise, we wouldn't allow it.
So that shed needs to come down. I mean, this is the first I hear of that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Boo. Okay. So I shouldn't even bother with pictures. I just need to bring it down.
Yeah, I would.
I think long
Yeah.
term, that's a great,
I mean, it sounds like it's a building code zoning issue.
that's beyond our.
Yeah, and there's no way to keep that up.
If you move.
I can look tomorrow and see if you can measure distances to the buildings for me.
Yep, I can do that.
And provide that if that's possible.
Yep,
I can look and see what the required clearance are for it. I'm gonna need distance from building to building.
Yep.
And then building to building openings,
And what also buildings is SIFT you're talking.
mhm,
either one,
Yeah, but also.
any building,
It also set back from property lines.
that's zone, Deb Jones will take care of that and her.
I know, but what I don't want is. I mean, let's try to give him the real answer instead of him not tearing it down and then he gets to zoning and then zoning says no and then.
I don't know what planning is gonna be, they may allow him to do a modification, a site plan modification, and keep it.
But it's not that you have to have, any sort of accessory building has to be 6 feet from the property lines.
Where does the property line start for this building?
It's basically like to the right of that. I have to find the original site plan for SIFT, but it's like,
I think
it's the wall. I thought it was, when I was doing the standard, that's what I was told.
that there's a 6-foot side yard setback.
Yeah. 6 side and rear for accessory. It's 10, or whatever the actual.
Yeah, I know it's
setback
different
is.
for accessory and I'm not 100% sure.
Not
what it
accessory
is.
dwelling, but like.
Right,
like
right,
a-
right, accessory structure. That's why I said, if you give me the information, I'll look and see if it will be allowed by building and zoning.
Okay,
So I need distance. You can just give me distance to building, building to building, and then building to building openings. And then I'll be able to figure it out from there, distance to property line.
you got it. I'll have it tomorrow.
If it is okay by them, then submit it when you submit that stuff.
Okay,
And then just to try to do this in one shot without any problems. Pictures, measurements, heights, everything.
You're
And
gonna
then
send them that John's note there. I think will be helpful.
if you want to forward it, you can.
Okay.
So. And then, do you want to read your last sentence or you want me to? Because it's just your comment.
I don't think we need the comments unless you feel so. You want, I don't care either way. Do you guys feel it's appropriate?
To paraphrase, it just needs to get resolved. That's not your
Yeah.
fault.
yeah,
So. But that's it.
well, I'm eager to get it resolved.
And so we can be done forever and all time. Does anyone have anything else?
That's all I got. Bill, you got anything?
Got nothing on.
This is it.
This is
This is the
I
end
got
of
nothing
it.
on presented. Or-
Todd, what do you got?
Oh, sorry.
I got nothing on Pearl.
Nothing.
Okay. I think that's everything.
All right.
Thank you.
Significant
Think
amounts.
that's
Can I make the suggestion that you took notes on a very small piece of paper?
Yeah, I'm going to transfer them as soon as I get in front of my computer.
And if you have a question,
Yeah,
I don't know. Tim's got this list, and if you have a question about like, what did I mean by that? Just for your sanity,
Yeah.
just do not hesitate. We're all trying to get this resolved together.
right.
So ask questions if you have any ambiguity compared to what you've written down on the piece.
Yeah, I'm not shy about asking questions, so I'll be on it.
And the only thing that I see as a problem is the wall, so I would just do it as you're gonna finish it. You have 5 years to do it,
Okay,
so.
okay. Anything else?
No, I really hope you can get open. soon
I
as
hope so
possible.
too. I hope so too. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be in touch. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, we did.
We continued
You
them,
continue?
we continued them, and
We
we were
did?
gonna uncontinue them if the people showed up.
Oh, okay.
So those were.
I didn't think we actually.
Okay, does anyone have anything else?
Ms. Packer, you wanna?
No, I think.
Those are the continued ones.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Motion. to adjourn? Question mark?
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.
Done?